Hi, Pim Salia here. Today I'm making this video to help you to understand how you are losing money but you are not seeing that. How is that possible? Let's say you don't have a plan for a year, but don't be sad because 80% of the world they don't have a plan, they don't write down what they should do for a year, what are their expenses and what are their winning. They don't calculate nothing for a year. You know what is their reason? Always, I don't have time for that. I don't have a lot of money to make plan. Just rich people make plan. Yes, it's true, rich people. But if you want to be rich or if you want to change your situation for yourself or for your family, you need to make a plan. You need to be more organized. Why I'm saying that? Because when you do that, you will get more results because you know what you should do tomorrow. You know what you should do after a month, 3 months, a year. Yeah, a lot of people that make a plan for 5 years, middle plan, or for a long term, 10 years or 20 years. But if you don't have a plan even for a year, it's hard. Be true to yourself. Let's say when you want to go on vacation, you have time to watch for a month, choosing with your wife or yourself where you want to go, how much it's costing to go there. You know, you make plan just for a week, a vacation that you finish for a week and that's all. You go and spend 3,000 euros or 5,000 euros, but you don't make a plan for a year. There are many weeks that you will live without plan. It's hard, huh? It's hard when you miss that, because I will let you know and I will tell you now why when you don't plan you already failed. Why? Because let's say now you're living somewhere, but it's not your house, it's not your apartment, but you're renting. Okay, now I will make an example how you are losing. Let's say Roseman, a guy that is 40 years now, and he started working in when he was 20 years. In 20s he started working in 20s and he started renting for 20 years. Let's say he started in 2000 for 20 years for till last year 2020, and he rent a house for 20 years, 1,000 euros average apartment for 1,000 euros a month. Let 1,000 a year a month, we will multiply with 20 years. It is 240 months. 240 months multiply with 1,000 euros is 240,000 euros without calculating the inflation that you get every month from an apartment, that you need to pay 2% of the 1,000 euros, that is 20 euros a year. You had to pay every month more. But we don't calculate that 2%. Let's calculate just 1,000 euros. A fixed amount for 20 years for 240 months is 240,000 euros that you lost for 20 years. But it's not just 240 years. You will be happy if it was just 240,000 euros. But no, it's more. How it's more? Let's say Roseman, instead of renting the same apartment, he bought for 20 years. He took a loan for that apartment, and that apartment was 20 years ago, in year of 2000, it was 240,000 euros. And he asked for a loan that he will get for 2% a year to get that amount. It's 4,800 euros a year. That is 96,000 for 20 years alone as a rent. And when you calculate 240 plus the percentage that need to pay to the bank back is 96,000 euros, that total amount is 336,000 that he needs to give back to the bank. But it's not all the amount that bank needs to get it. It's just 96 that bank will own from you. But 240,000 it's for you because you are paying your apartment, your property. Means that 240,000 euros you have after 20 years in your bank, plus you have 2% inflation every year that you get just your apartment staying without doing nothing but Let's say the average price that is for 20 years. Average price can be 5%. It can be more, it can be a little bit, it can be lower. Let's take in account for 5%. For 240,000 euros apartment, 5% a year inflation for that apartment is 12,000. 12,000 when you multiply with 20 years is 240,000 euros plus just from inflation. Plus your apartment that costs 240,000 is 480,000. You can imagine, it's blowing my mind because it's almost 500,000 just if you had split that contract, not renting but buying. Now you would have owned almost 500,000 of your investment. It means in this case you didn't lose just 240,000 in rent, but you have lost almost 500,000 euros. Imagine in your age, in 40 years, having 500,000 euros. You can go and rent it that for 2,000 euros, or depends when you are, and renting that amount and going to Philippines or Thailand or somewhere else to live in a beach, getting the money every month. Because you are retired now, with that money you can live like a king somewhere else in cheaper countries next to the beach, going every day and taking some sun and feeling good because you had made very good decision 20 years ago because you decided to buy, not rent. But yeah, if you had bought that apartment, you will have this amount now. But no, you rent it because you thought, okay, it's normal price I should pay, and for me it's easier because I am still young. I will go out every week and I will go on vacation. You spend a lot because you said, yeah, I need to live now because you never know, maybe tomorrow I die, but you never know when you will die. Better do your calculation first and make some rules for your life, because it will be easier after when you see that your pocket is huge, and instead paying rent, you that same amount you pay to the bank, but you are not paying the bank because you are paying yourself. A lot of people are not understanding that. It's like your bank is forcing you to save for you, because in the end the amount that you will get, the apartment that you get, it's for you, it's not for the bank, because you are paying every month, you are saving, you are sacrificing for that. But when you sacrifice, we say sacrifice, but it's not sacrifice, because anyway you are paying rent every month. If you don't pay for 3 months, you can go out because he will put you out. The same with the bank. Bank, if you don't pay for 3 months, you can go till 6 months without paying, and they will say, okay, just you need to pay higher price now because you didn't have the money in the right time. But if you are correctly with the bank and you pay every month, you will be very, very without stress, because you know, and you will be more happy because you know that you are paying yourself every month. And it's not like paying 1,000 euros to bank for yourself and you are throwing 1,000 euros, but it's not just 1,000 euros because you are getting more because of inflation. It's like throwing 1,000 in the air and you get down 1,020 euros because of inflation. This is life. Take into account, a lot of people are losing money without knowing, without noticing, because they learn themselves that they need to pay that amount and it's okay, it's renting. But they don't think for a long term, like for 20 years or 30 years, that they can retire from that investment they did before, and they can go to live somewhere else more chill and more easy without doing a lot of papers and working every day 9 to 5 because you made a huge mistakes before. You should be more careful with your expenses. When you do something better for yourself, you will reflect also to your wife or to your children. They will see how you react with yourself, how you are taking the steps, what you are doing. They don't follow your advices, but they follow your actions. If you had owned that apartment, it's not just for you, it's also good for your wife and for your children. means that it's not just one person or two person profiting from this. Your children are profiting too. You pass to the generations. I hear some people say, hey, when I make 40 years or 50 years, I will invest. But in real estate, it's not like that. As faster as you can, as early as you can, as early you will get the results, you will profit from that. You will enjoy more that investment, because you can retire early. You can retire in 40 because you have the amount, you rent that property. But if you work till 40 years and 50 years, it's more problem also to get the loan, to ask for a loan to the bank, because you don't have any of the investment that you did before. Then you can ask for the second property. Bank doesn't give you money easy when you're old, because they are afraid that you can die early. You can't pay the loan. It's harder. That's why banks try to work more with people that are 20 till 40 years, gold years. And like this, you will save your money and you have something to show to your children and to your friends. To say, hey, this is my smart move that I made 20 years ago. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like the video for algorithm of YouTube, and subscribe for more videos like this that will impact your life for better. Ben Salih. Thank you.